Hello and welcome. You're watching NDTV 24/7. I'm Osama Shab. The top story that we are tracking at this hour, the Israeli military, it has claimed that it has killed Hamas leader Yahya Sinwar following an operation in the Gaza Strip. Sinwar, he's largely believed to be the mastermind of October 7th attack by Hamas on Israel. So Israel claims that the Hamas leader has been killed. The mastermind of October 7 attack is what Yahya Sinwar is alleged to be. Sinwar, he was suspected to be killed in an operation on the Gaza Strip. He's also, believed that Hamas attack has triggered the war. No comment from Hamas yet on his death. Yahya Sinwar, remember, he also spent 22 years in Israeli jail. And my colleague Disha joins us to get us more on this story. Disha, what are the details that you can give us about this entire operation at the moment?
So what the Israeli military is now claiming is that in a strike that they conducted today, targeting 3 operatives of Hamas, this is where they are in the Gaza Strip. This is where they believe that Hamas chief is Yahya Sinwar has in fact been eliminated or killed. This is what the Israeli military is now claiming. So in terms of what this means, this is a massive development in the year-long war between Israel and Hamas, and is likely to change the course of the war because, as you mentioned, Yahya Sinwar was the mastermind and is considered the mastermind of the October 7th attacks. And Netanyahu, when he waged the war on Hamas a year ago, he mentioned that the main target of the war is to eliminate Yahya Sinwar and Hamas's military chief, Mohammad Deif. So in terms of who Yahya Sinwar is, he was the political face and the chief of the Hamas, and he rose to this position in late July after the death of Ismail Haniyeh. And in terms of what this now means in terms of the hostage release and ceasefire talks, it is expected that now that Netanyahu has been able to succeed in his main goal in this war, there could be a breakthrough in ceasefire talks and hostage deal talks. So quite a significant blow to the Hamas as well as Iran's proxy network in this year-long war.
All right, I'm also currently joined by Zvika Klein, the editor-in-chief, Jerusalem Post. Zvika, my first question to you is, how does Israel now view Sinwar's elimination, especially in terms of achieving justice for the October 7th attack?
Thank you for having me. So I would say most Israelis are very positive about the situation. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu actually just spoke live and said any member of Hamas who is holding a hostage will be able to let go, free and leave the Gaza Strip. I think definitely the Israelis feel like there's a momentum when it comes to the military situation, with succeeding both in Gaza and in Lebanon with Hezbollah. Obviously, unfortunately, many Israelis were also killed during these operations, but the elimination of all these leaders is something that Israelis feel a bit of, I wouldn't say joy, but a bit of strength.
Right. Is there also a fear of potential repercussions? Do you think there are concerns about potential attacks or escalation from Hamas or similar such organizations?
So, I mean, I definitely know just a few hours ago, the Israeli prison system said they were on high alert because of, members of Hamas in Israeli jails would possibly try and, uprise. That said, I think Hamas's situation, as we've seen, has been a lot, that they've become a lot, less strong, very weak in that sense. So obviously there may be anecdotal types of attacks, but the sense is the fact that this leader, as well as other leaders, but this is the most prominent leader, being eliminated by the IDF is something that will affect Hamas inwards. In the past few weeks, There were reports saying that Sinwar wasn't actually able to communicate with his organization, definitely after the attack that was allegedly claimed that Israel, bombed thousands of Hezbollah members in Lebanon through pagers. So really the communication of Sinwar was mainly with like written paper with the members of his organization. So, not being able to manage your own organization and then being eliminated is something that definitely will have its toll and effect on the way they see things. There may be anecdotal attacks here and there, but I would say the sense is that there's a historic opportunity to actually end this war, have the hostages returned to Israel.
Zvika, I also want to understand the impact on Hamas, his death, Yahya Sinwar's death on his impact on Hamas. How will his death affect Hamas's leadership now, according to you, and all its operation? And do you feel there is a potential successor in this particular case?
I mean, there were different names that were potentially raised. I'm not going to get into the specific names, but in general, the sense is that Israel has eliminated both Yahya Sinwar reported today, but also eliminated other senior officials, whether in Iran, whether in Syria, whether in Gaza, and in Lebanon. So the sense is that there really isn't any senior leadership in Hamas, as well as tens of thousands of members of the organization that were eliminated by the IDF and Israeli security forces. The question really is also who the person will be that will stand up, and how senior have they been, and will people actually see them or this this potential person as a leader? So I mean, what I'm hearing from Israeli security forces is the sense is that the leadership is pretty much eliminated, and not expecting to see a successor that would be as substantial as Yahya Sinwar.
Right. In fact, Zvika, my colleague Disha also has a question for you. Let's listen to that question, please.
Right, Zvika. So my question was actually about what Yahya Sinwar's death could mean for the future of the war. Since Netanyahu has claimed that his main target for the war was Sinwar as well as Mohammed Deif, who was eliminated earlier, could we now expect Israel to look at ceasefire talks and hostage release talks more seriously? And could we expect a breakthrough in talks?
100%. As I mentioned just a few minutes ago, so Prime Minister Netanyahu said straight out to members of Hamas who are holding hostages, give us the hostages, we'll let you go. We're not going to eliminate you. We're not going to kill you. We're going to let you flee to another country, and also called out for the negotiations. We heard reports, before this weekend that there haven't been any negotiations in the past few weeks. And now we could probably understand why that was. Sinwar was actually the most staunch person against finding solutions and the negotiations. So that will also allow, hopefully, further negotiations. And there is a sense, as you said, the goal was to eliminate these leaders, but also to return the hostages. So if this really is an historic moment, if members of Hamas, whoever is now enabled to allow hostages release in return for a ceasefire, now I think we're closer than ever to that sort of opportunity.
All right, Zvika Klein, thank you very much for speaking with NDTV, and Disha Bakshi, thank you very much for getting us all the latest in that story. Moving on, the Maharashtra elections preparation, it has picked up pace. The parties are in a huddle to fix the seat sharing issue. The key Mahavikas Aghadi meeting took place in Mumbai over seat sharing, and sources say that dispute is now over 25 seats. Key leaders from the opposition bloc, they attended this meeting. The Mahavikas Aghadi is still to finalize the seat sharing deal. Although sources also say that consensus has been reached on 263 seats, while the dispute is still over few Mumbai seats, and that the final decision is likely in 3 to 4 days from now.
बहुत अच्छी तरीके से चर्चा हमारी चालू है और जल्द से जल्द महाविकास आघाड़ी की यादी पूरी तैयार हो जाएंगी और जल्द से जल्द हम यादी डिक्लेयर करेंगे। अभी करीबन 10% सीट है कि उसके बारे में चर्चा होना बाकी है। उसके बारे में चर्चा करके जल्द से जल्द हम पूरी यादी हमारी डिक्लेयर करें।
मुंबई में भी थोड़ी सी जगह, एक दो जगह में ये था, पूरे जगह महाराष्ट्र का मिला के मुंबई से 20 से 25 जगह जो है उसमें हाईकमांड डिसीजन लेंगी और कल नहीं तो परसों हमारी फाइनल यादी अलायंस की डिक्लेयर हो जाएगी। 288 जगह में से अगर 260 जगह अगर एक साथ हम मिलकर डिसाइड कर सकते, थोड़ी सी जगह रहती है।
Leaders like Nana Patole, Sanjay Raut, Jayant Patil, Anil Deshmukh, Jitendra Awad were part of the meeting. Of course, marathon meetings of the opposition coalition had been taking place for quite some time now. Yes, what we are picking up is that consensus has been reached as far as 263 seats of 288 are concerned, but 25 seats in total under dispute. Of course, these involved seats outside of Mumbai, other parts of Maharashtra, but they also involve 5 to 6 seats in Mumbai, such as Kurla, Dharavi, Versova, Baikla. While in some seats, Sena and Congress are staking claim, and in other seats within Mumbai, Sena and NCP are staking claim. So there are disputes as far as 5 to 6 Mumbai seats are concerned, and close to 20 seats from outside of Mumbai. Now, the list of these finalized seats as well as disputed seats will be sent to top leaders of the MVA, top leaders of the Congress party, Mallikarjun Kharge, as well as of NCP Sharad Pawar and Sena leader Uddhav Thackeray. No consensus, however, on CM candidate. Perhaps that is something that the MVA will wait it out. Looks like Sena and Congress in the final deal may get equal seats, or perhaps Sena may get more, and NCP will get about 80 seats is what we are hearing. So Sena perhaps close to 120. Somewhere close to that is what Congress is also aiming to get, and then the NCP. The leaders, MVA leaders, also planning to file a complaint with the Election Commission tomorrow. They'll hold a press conference after that. The complaint is on ambiguity in voting lists, regularization of voting, and so on. So yes, seat sharing talks still going on. Consensus reached on 263 seats is what we are hearing.
Two accused in the Bareilly violence case were shot by the Uttar Pradesh police on Thursday while they were allegedly attempting to flee to Nepal. Both the accused, they have been identified according to the UP Special Task Force Chief Amitabh Yash. The two were shot on the border after the police had received information about their presence in the area. Remember, violence broke out in Bareilly's Maharajganj on October 13 over loud music during a Durga Puja immersion procession in which Ram Gopal Mishra, 22-year-old, had died of gunshot injuries. This incident, it triggered vandalism and arson in the area as houses, shops, showrooms, hospitals and vehicles were torched by mobs, prompting the police to lodge multiple FIRs against unidentified rioters and some named accused. The police, it rounded up 55 suspects besides deploying heavy security in the mixed population town where tension escalated over the playing of the song.
ये तो पुलिस के ऊपर निर्भर करता है कि किन परिस्थितियों में उन्होंने एनकाउंटर किया। हर एनकाउंटर की मैजिस्ट्रियल इंक्वायरी भी होती है। यूपी में 212 एनकाउंटर अभी तक हो चुके हैं। आज तक एक पे भी प्रश्न चिन्ह कोर्ट ने नहीं उठाया है। मैं पूरा आश्वस्त हूँ कि पुलिस को लगा होगा तभी इनकाउंटर किया, और जबकि दूसरे व्यक्ति के पैर में गोली मारी है। तो इसीलिए जो भी इस पर डिबेट कर रहे हैं, जो भी इस पर उछल रहे हैं कि फर्जी इनकाउंटर, उनको ये समझ में आना चाहिए कि पुलिस पहले पैर में गोली मारती है, जब कंट्रोल नहीं होता, अपनी जान पे खतरा होता है, तभी किसी की जान जाती है।
अखिलेश यादव इस पे सवाल खड़े कर रहे हैं।
वो तो करेंगे, अखिलेश नहीं करेंगे तो कौन सवाल खड़ा करेगा।
ये घटनाएं जो हो रही हैं वो सरकार की नाकामी की वजह से हो रही हैं। सरकार अपनी नाकामी छिपाने के लिए इनकाउंटर कर रही है। अगर इनकाउंटर से ही लॉ एंड ऑर्डर बेहतर हो रहा होता तो अभी उत्तर प्रदेश कई आंकड़ों में और प्रदेशों से अच्छा होता। जब वहां पर तय था, पुलिस की जानकारी में था, तो आखिरकार आपने शांतिपूर्ण ढंग से क्यों नहीं प्रोसेशन को ले जाने दिया, या उस कार्यक्रम को संपन्न क्यों नहीं करा पाए। जो लोग एक शांतिपूर्ण तरीके से एक कस्बे, गांव का या आसपास के लोगों का कार्यक्रम शांतिपूर्ण से संपन्न नहीं करा पा रहे हैं, उनसे लॉ ऑर्डर की क्या उम्मीद करेंगे आप।
Time for a very short break. More news and updates on the other side. The Supreme Court on Thursday said it will decide the constitutional validity of penal provisions in the Indian Penal Code and the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, which grant immunity from prosecution to a husband in cases of marital rape. A bench of Chief Justice of India, D.Y. Chandrachud, and Justice J.B. Pardiwala and Manoj Mishra sought views of the petitioners on centre's contention that making such acts punishable would severely impact the conjugal relationship and cause serious disturbances in the institution of marriage. Meanwhile, Bharti Airtel has claimed that it has identified 79 million potential spam calls and 4 million spam SMSs in Gujarat and informed users about them in the last 20 days. The company has started an AI-powered spam detection system, and when such spam calls come, customers, they are notified as suspected scam call, and for SMS, it is written on them that SMS is suspected spam. Airtel has launched this service for its 11.9 million customer base in Gujarat. The Ministry of External Affairs said on Thursday that India had requested Canada to arrest members of the Lawrence Bishnoi gang, but it didn't act on New Delhi's core concerns. The MEA also rejected false imputations against our diplomats made by Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. Referring to Mr. Trudeau's admission, the MEA reiterated that Canada hasn't shared a shred of evidence with New Delhi proving Indian agents' involvement in the murder.
We chose to continue to work behind the scenes to try and get India to cooperate with us. And at that point, it was primarily intelligence, not hard evidentiary proof.
As far as the allegations are concerned, PM Trudeau's own admission yesterday would indicate the value. As regards our stance on the allegations, we will naturally reject false imputations against our diplomats. There's a clear pattern to smear India for reasons best known to them.
India rebutting Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's admission that Canada has no hard evidential proof to support allegations linking Indian government agents to the killing of Khalistani terrorist Hardeep Singh Nijjar last year. India reiterated Canada shared no evidence in support of the case, even accusing Trudeau of damaging India-Canada ties. On the Lawrence Bishnoi link, India says Canada disregarded multiple extradition requests.
There are 26 extradition requests pending with the Canadian side. We have shared security-related information with the Canadian government regarding gang members, including those of Lawrence Bishnoi gang, and requested them to arrest them. So far, no action has been taken by the Canadian side on our request.
The Ministry of External Affairs says that from the very beginning, the Canadian approach has been to make vague accusations and put the burden of denial on India. Earlier, India decided to withdraw its High Commissioner in Canada, Sanjay Kumar Verma, after Ottawa linked him and other Indian diplomats to the Nijjar case. However, Canada alleges that it was they who asked the 6 diplomats, including the High Commissioner, to leave the country. Trudeau is seeking another term as Canada's Prime Minister, but has recently faced one political setback after another. He has repeatedly been seen standing shoulder to shoulder with extremists and separatists attending Khalistan rallies, terming all this as free speech. He has also lost support of his key ally Jagmeet Singh, and on Tuesday, a Liberal MP publicly called for his resignation. There's a growing number of Liberal MPs that remain frustrated with Trudeau's leadership and lack of strategy in countering Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre. Latest to join ranks among condemning Trudeau's stand on the Nijjar killing is MP Chandra Arya from Trudeau's own party.
We know that extremism and terrorism don't recognize and are not limited to national borders. On Canadian Khalistani violent extremism, as Canadians, we expect our federal government and its agencies to collaborate with other affected countries to protect our citizens. The persistence of Canadian Khalistani extremism is rooted in the political patronage these extremists enjoy.
Sikhs in Canada form the fourth largest ethnic group, and there is a notable faction that supports the Khalistani movement, making it politically significant for Trudeau to engage with this community. But it seems Trudeau's K card isn't playing out to plan. Bureau Report for NDTV.
That's all we have for you. Keep watching NDTV for more news and updates.